Today I rebuild one of the most exciting teams in world football. West Ham United have been such a giant source of entertainment during this transfer window, bringing in players such as Max Kilman, Serencio Somerville, Nicholas Fulkrug, Guido Rodriguez, Jean-Claude Todibo and Aaron Wan-Bissaka, spending quite a large sum of money. West Ham plan to use tactics of their new manager Julian Lopetegui to bring them back to the glory of 2023 when West Ham were crowned champions of Europe, with the UEFA Conference League being their first major trophy since the 1980s. For the past few years, West Ham have been strongly considered as a mid-table team, and today they've called upon man like Klex to bring that forward and bring them back to that European glory, and perhaps even a Premier League. The board have clearly made a statement with their signings. They have high expectations, but can I live up to them? So now, in our first season with West Ham, there's not many transfers needed at all due to the high level of money already spent, and I think I'd rather keep it on the cheaper side. We have made one sell in Mikel Antonio to New York, as I feel he's past his best years and there's not much left for him to accomplish at the club. The funds from the sale of Antonio help contribute towards his replacement in Karim Konate from RB Salzburg, an exciting 20-year-old Ivorian striker who will without doubt benefit the squad when he arrives at West Ham after his loan back to Salzburg. I was comfortable making this signing as I believe Konate will be a much better fit than Antonio in the system I'm choosing to play, and even could potentially take over after Fulkrug retires or leaves the club. Speaking on said system, let me show you how I plan to line up for season 1 of the West Ham rebuild. We've got a pretty standard 4-3-3, but as you can see we've got a couple changes. Up top we've got a target forward in Fulkrug. I believe this will be the main player in the entire formation. He's very physical, he's got great finishing, and I believe he's perfect for that target forward role. He can become a 30-goal striker as long as he gets the support that we plan for him to get. We've got two wingers, one on his left and one on his right. We've got Bowen on the left as a winger attack, not a role that you see Bowen play too often, but I plan to use his great left foot ability to swoop in those crosses for Fulkrug. He's got 14 crossing, he's got great dribbling attributes, great first touch, and he's very fast. I believe he's perfect for the role. And we've got Kudus on the right and the inside forward role. Of course, a target forward naturally does open up spaces in the back line, moving defenders out, so I believe Kudus is the perfect player to go through those gaps. He's rapid, he's got the ability to shoot, he's got it all. We've got a great balance in midfield of Lucas Paqueta, Ward-Prowse and Alvarez. As you can see, Alvarez is as a half-back during this role. He'll be moving into the back three and he'll be creating a sort of system where the fullbacks boost forward and we turn it into a bit of a 5-2-3. It's looking good. I like this system. I believe it'll be great support for Fulkrug. He has support in Emerson, Wan-Bissaka, Kudus and Bowen, as well as obviously Ward-Prowse, another key player in the system because of his passing ability, because of his set piece ability mainly, and he's just the perfect box-to-box midfielder. He's got stamina, he's got work rate, he's got everything you could possibly need. He's a player that I believe we could take to the end of this rebuild. He will be 34 by the end of it, but I'm sure of that 20 natural fitness and that 20 stamina, he will still be at his best. So as we've skipped to the end of the transfer window, we know that we've already played a couple matches in the Premier League and possibly other competitions, so let's see how that's gone for us so far. It started pretty shaky, 2 matches and 2 losses, with a 2-3 loss to Liverpool at home and a 1-0 loss away at Chelsea. It started a bit shaky, but I still, you have to put trust in your team. We came back with a 2-1 win at home to Tottenham, which was absolutely massive for us, one of our London rivals. And then we went into a Southampton match in the Carabao Cup and we won 4-0 away from home. That was a sign of us starting to groove. We then went to St James Park and did the unexpected, a 1-0 win to an early Nicholas Fulkrug header. It has been a great start to the season so far and I'm looking forward to it. We're sticking with the same tactic for sure, and I believe we can do pretty well this season. Don't look at the table now because I know it says we're 9th. Don't look at that now. Look at that at the end of the season. So as you can see, we made it to the end of season 1. We've accidentally simmed a little bit too far, but let's go straight into competitions and see how we've done. And I'm not sure if you can see it, but I definitely can. UEFA Champions League is now a section there. That means that we've made the Champions League in season 1 and we are ready to go into it for next season. Let's go into the league and see how we did, because it must be great, man. 5th place, I'm happy. I'm very happy with that. I was honestly expecting maybe within the top 8. So hitting 5th place is a very, very big accomplishment, only 3 points away from Arsenal in 4th, and we're kind of lucky that coefficients came through for us. But either way, it's a big achievement for us. Champions League, I don't remember the last time West Ham were in the Champions League. So we take it and we prepare for next season. Let's go into the FA Cup and see how we did. Obviously, we don't know at all. Second round, we weren't in it. Third round, we played against Bristol City and lost 1-0. You know what? It's expected. Honestly, it's expected. You do well in one competition, you fall off in the other. But let's go to the Carabao Cup. We obviously know that last season, we made it past the second round by beating Southampton 4-0, which was a very big win, starting us off well in the competition. Made it to the third round, and we beat Chelsea 1-0 away from home. That's a very big win. Then fourth round, oh my God, we beat Man City away from home. We already know that we never won the trophy, as it says holders there with Tottenham, but did we make it to the final? Quarter final, we beat Newcastle 3-1. Oh, did we make it to the final? Ah, it's too bad. We faced Tottenham in the semi-finals and did lose 3-2. And in the other match, 4-1 win for Manchester United, which then went on to Wembley, and Tottenham beat Man United 4-1. That means Tottenham have won a trophy. Unheard of. But we're ready to prepare for next season. I'll be back with you once we've completed our signings. So we are now back after the transfer window is over, and let me show you who we managed to bring in. As you can see, we only have 2.58 million left, meaning that we must have made some pretty big signings. So let me take you from the beginning. We managed to sign Ousmane Diomande for £43 million. He was eager to play in the Champions League, as Sporting did not reach that level, I believe. He wanted to go to a bigger club. We swooped in for him and got him for a pretty good price. I think 43 million is not too much. He is probably one of the best wonder kids, if not the best wonder kid in Football Manager, and he will be the perfect replacement for that left centre back role over Agard, who is slightly aging now. I think he's the perfect player to bring in. Moving on, we also brought in Jean-Claude Todibo on a full-time transfer. He was only on loan last season, but he did perform pretty well. I believe, again, he's one of the players that we can bring forward. He's everything that we need in a centre-back. He's got the perfect mentals. He's 6'3", he's fast. He's everything that we could possibly need, and he did want to return for the foreseeable future. So for the 30 million transfer fee, we did bring him back. Also, we brought in Ferdi Kadioglu, make sure I pronounce that right. Right now is linked to a move to Brighton in real life, but at the time of recording it has not been done. So he was still at Fenerbahce. We brought him in for a pretty good price of 26 million. He's good on either fullback, which is perfect for me. He's great in the attack, which is again perfect for me. He's got the great crossing ability. He's fast. He's very agile, and I think he's perfect to take this team forward. Again, take us forward in the Champions League, as Fenerbahce do have history in that competition, and he did really want to come to West Ham. Next, we brought in Martin Baturina, another great wonder kid in the game. He was very cheap, 21 million, because he did want to leave Dynamo. He won't be starting for us right now, but if he develops well, then he could be a good replacement for perhaps James Ward-Prowse or Lucas Paqueta if he does develop right. We've also brought in Alexander Barr as a backup to Aaron Wan-Bissaka. We did need a more attacking backup, as how, you know, United have had Dalot and Wan-Bissaka. Dalot's needed when you want someone that's more attacking, and Wan-Bissaka is needed when you're more defensive. I don't believe Vladimir Coufal was the right player to use to bring forward the play, and I believe Alexander Barr is just the right person. He's got 15 crossing, he's fast, he's a very good replacement for Wan-Bissaka when we do need that attacking alternative. He's already made 4 appearances off the bench, so clearly we have needed that attacking alternative, and it was a good price, £12 million. He's 27 years old, but he does have good experience at a top level. Portuguese league football, gets started every week in, week out for Benfica, and did very well last season. Of course, Benfica are no strangers to European football, and I believe Alexander Barr could help us in that sense. Now, transfers out, we managed to sell Edson Alvarez for 50 million to Al Ahly. one season at the club. I don't think he performed too well last season. He never really even played too much. He was kind of a backup to Guido Rodriguez, and they wanted to sign him for £50 million. I couldn't turn it down. It was 17 million profit after one season and only 9 starts for us, and he did want to leave as well. Obviously, we could not afford to pay him the wages that he was getting now at Al Ahly. £450,000 a week is a wage that I don't think I will ever be paying for a player at West Ham. So that 50 million did help contribute towards these signings. We also did sell Naif Agurd to Al Qadzia, if I'm saying that correctly. 23.5 million. Again, like I said, I did want a younger player. I wanted someone to help us more, and I don't believe Agurd was that player that could take us forward, and I believe we brought in the right player. Then we also sold Louis Zhao. I can't pronounce that name properly. He's not a player that we had any plans on playing, so we sold him for very cheap to the Brazilian league. So we've made some good signings. I believe this can help us. Let me show you the tactic. We're running the exact same tactic as last season. I believe it worked perfectly before, and now it could work even better. I'm planning on perhaps locking Jared Bowen into position, but I don't think I will, no. If we show what the best 11 is chosen by the AI, it's very similar to last season. Instead, obviously, we've got Ousmane Diomande in the team and Ferdi Kadioglu now. Also, we've got Karim Konate back from loan at RB Salzburg. So I believe he can contribute towards the team as well. He's got 15 finishing, he's got great pace, he's strong, he's what I wanted in a striker, and I believe he can take over from Füllkrug when he does retire. But Füllkrug, he's an amazing player. I didn't show you for the last season stats, but he has been our best player, as I said, as I predicted. He had 36 goals and 5 assists in 40 matches. That is unreal. A 7.42 average rating. I had no idea he could even be that good. I was saying I may have been talking a bit too loud before, but now it makes sense. I back what I say fully now. I may have not been backing it before, but I back it now. I did not know he had the skill and abilities to match up what I was saying. But wow, honestly, he might be a lot more difficult to replace than just Karim Konate, because I don't know many other strikers that are scoring that many goals. But as you can see, so far in the league, it's not been going too well for us. We are 10th place. Let me show you the fixtures that we have played. I'll go over to schedule. Yeah, so it's not been too great. A 0-0 draw away from home at Burnley is just not good enough. A 1-0 win at Brighton made me think that we were starting to get back onto it. And then a 2-1 loss at Brentford. So it's been shaky. Then we went at home to Arsenal. A 0-0 draw. I mean, it could be worse. It could definitely be worse. But I still trust in my tactic, and I still believe that we can do decently this season. So I'm going to stick with the same tactic, and we're going to work as hard as possible to do well this season. So we've made it to the end of season 2. Luckily, we didn't sim a bit too far this time, but I've already noticed the league table looks a little bit worse from last season. 6th place is still not horrible, but I was hoping for an increase after the signings that we had made. We were on tied points with 5th place, and I don't believe coefficients were on our side this season. So even if we did get 5th place, I don't think we would have had Champions League football. But obviously, I don't know yet. We could still have won the Champions League, so maybe we do have Champions League football next season. But in player stats, you can already tell, Nicholas Füllkrug, 33 goals this season and a 7.11 high average rating. Brilliant, honestly, different gravy. Most assists with Jared Bowen, 15. And let's go into competitions. We've won our first trophy. I'm happy with it. And semi-finals of the Champions League. Okay, alright, we've done very well this season. Wow, we must have been focusing a lot more on the Champions League than yeah, wow. Semi-finals of the Champions League and the FA Cup win. That is amazing. Let's go straight into the FA Cup because I'm interested in it. We beat Newcastle in the final 2-0. That is brilliant. Let me just see where let me see where this came from. Round 3 we faced Morecambe and beat them 6-0. 4th round 4-1 win against Man City at home. Wow. 5th round against Gillingham away. We won 4-1. Quarter-final, we got our revenge on Bristol City with a 2-1 win away from home. They thought they were going to get us again, didn't they? We then beat Wolves 5-2 in the semis, and then a 2-0 win against Newcastle in the final. Absolutely massive, making us FA Cup winners. That is a very, very big trophy, and I'm sure the board will be happy with that one. But let's go into Champions League. Let's see, because we managed to qualify automatically. I'm sure we focused a lot more on the Champions League than on the league, because we would never have been able to qualify on automatics. I would have expected playoffs if we would have even qualified at all. But we then made it straight to the round of 16s, where we beat Porto on penalties after a 3-3 aggregate. We went to the quarterfinals. We beat Tottenham 5-2, which is a very, very big win. Away from home, winning 3-0 in the second leg. Then the semi-finals, we ended up losing 5-3 in the semi-finals. I can't believe that. They beat us 4-1 in the second leg. Wow, I'm upset with that. Hold on, was that at home or... I need to double... Yes, at Anfield we lost 4-1. I find that very bad. I find that poor from us. But as we did just see, Liverpool are first in the league. So, I mean, it's fair enough. Liverpool must be a very, very good team. Well, they haven't played the final yet, but they will be playing against Barcelona in the final. I'm very happy with this season. 6th place, it's not as great as I was hoping, but it's still fine. I'm happy with it. Fulkrug as the second highest goal scorer in the league. I'm very happy with that. James Ward-Prowse with 11 assists. Another great season from him. He has been cracking it on assists, with 13 in the Premier League last season and 11 in the Premier League this season. Like I said, he is one of the key players, and his set piece ability is definitely helping him in getting those assists. But Liverpool did win the league. Quite a low point count this season. We were only 9 points off the league title and we finished 6th place. So that just shows it was a very, very close season. But Pep Guardiola has been sacked from Man City because of the fact that they finished 3rd. I'm sure expectations were a lot higher than that, and they bottled a little bit. I'm not sure how it went on the final day of the season. Oh, they just had to beat us on the final day, didn't they? I'm not sure when they must have dropped off, but I'm sure... I'm just gonna check past positions between these three. Apologies. Past positions between the top 3, because these lot were only 1 point separated. I'm pretty sure Liverpool was top by 1 point, with Arsenal on 75 and Man City on 75 also. So you can see it was pretty much a race between Arsenal and Liverpool. Man City never really touched the top of the league. I'm not surprised that they sacked Pep Guardiola, because that's poor from him. I really would have expected him to go top at least for a week, not even 1 week. It's literally all been Arsenal and Liverpool at the top, and Liverpool managed to bring it home with Arne Slot at the helm. That's very big for Liverpool. But we made it to the quarterfinals of the Carabao Cup. We made it to the third. We started in the 3rd round. A 1-1 draw against Man City, which went to penalties, and we beat them. Our head-to-head record with Man City must be very good. Wow. We then made it to the 4th round, and Liverpool, we beat 3-1 at home. That is a very big run. But we then got drawn up against Man United and lost 1-0 away. That's sad. I don't understand why we got all of the hardest draws. Seriously, could we not have gotten QPR or Cardiff or even Swansea? It's too bad. But Man United did end up making it to the final and losing to Newcastle. Man United are just bottlers in this save, aren't they? What happened to my team? But talking about positions, again, if I show you the best 11, it's showing me more of something like this. I'm still preferring Bowen on the left wing. But position-wise, I mean, there's still a lot that could be worked on. Looking at average ratings, I believe Ferdy Kadioglu hasn't been as good as possible. I mean, even players like Kudus weren't as good as I would have expected them to be, though. A lot of drop-offs this season, so we could potentially use another winger, another midfielder, or another defender. Literally any position on here could be used. Maybe even Areola has to leave now, or take his time on the bench, because from the looks of it, Fotheringham as our backup goalkeeper it's not very comforting. But I'm looking forward to the next season. Obviously, we don't have Champions League football this coming season, but we have Europa League. It will be a perfect time to bring some signings in and make some drastic changes to the team because we don't have Champions League football at the time. Europa League is not a very big competition to us, but of course, we would still like to win a European trophy. So I'm not sure what's going to happen this next season, but we'll be back once I have the transfers done. Well, we're back. And we've made quite a couple signings. We've started the season off, 3 matches done. We're roughly mid-table right now. It's not going as well as I would have hoped, especially with the signings. But I'll show you those first. Let me go to transfers, transfer history. We'll start from the end of last season because I do like to get my business done early. We signed Josip Shutalo for £50 million from Ajax. He wanted to leave. He wanted to go to a bigger club. He was actually interested in a lot more clubs. He wanted to go to Real Madrid. He wanted to go to Inter Milan. But he ended up choosing West Ham United. So very realistic that was. £50 million. He's a very good centre-back. He did very well last season in Ajax. I believe he could add to this defence, and obviously he's another centre-back. I haven't sold any centre-backs from, I don't think, but it might be a change of system. You guys will see that in a second. Now on to this season's transfers. We've started to sign a brand new goalkeeper in Noah Atubolu, a great German goalkeeper. He smashed it for Freiburg last season. Didn't do as well as I was hoping. He did very well for Freiburg last season. And I believe he's a good replacement for Areola, who's now kind of out of his prime years. I think Areola will now start to be moved to the bench, as I kind of mentioned before. And we'll use Atubolu as our main goalkeeper, with Areola being the cup/backup goalkeeper. We've managed to sign Noah Darvic on a free, which if you guys play FM, you would know he is definitely one of the best wonder kids in the game. But again, with the new change of system, he doesn't really have too much of a space in the club. So this might be a bit not worth it, I won't lie. But I don't think I would have lived with myself if I never signed him up on that free transfer. As you can see, personality, fairly professional, and it is media description as a wonder kid. He's 19 years old. He's a very good footballer. But if he plays for us, he definitely can develop. Hopefully he does. I'm not sure how much of a room we will have for him. Again, that will have to we'll have to wait and see. Next, we broke our club record signing for £80 million on Hugo Larsson from Frankfurt. He is an amazing midfielder. He's good as a box-to-box. He's good as a Mazzala. He can even be used down as a defensive midfielder and possibly even as an attacking midfielder if needed. He's amazing. Honestly, Swedish international. He's still young, 22 years old. He's developed perfectly in this save. Someone I'd recommend to you for sure. He's already got a 7.07 average rating in the Premier League and all competitions. He's a great footballer, and I think he slots perfectly into this lineup. I'm very happy with the signing. Even though it's a lot of money, high expectations come for him. I'm sure he'll meet those expectations. We've also signed Melvin Bard for the left back position. He's perfect. Honestly, for the system that I play, like I've said previously, I love fullbacks that can cross. I love fullbacks that can bring the ball forward. And that's 16 crossing, 15 dribbling, and 15 first touch, say everything, as well as the 15 passing. And he's fast, he's rapid. He's got great defensive skills with that 15 marking and 14 tackling. He's a perfect all-round left wing back, and I'm definitely he's gonna be slotted straight into the team. Already got a 7.0 average rating. He's proven that he's a very good fullback already. But with transfers out, we've managed to gain 158 million, all on 3 transfers to Saudi Arabia. We've sold Sirencio Somerville for 60 million, I think he said, 60 million to Al Hilal. He was never really playing for us. Honestly, he was a bench player most of the time. Last season, he did get 30 starts. I won't lie, that is a lot of football for him. But he never really performed in those 30 starts. He's still young, he's 24 years old, so he had room to grow, but not with us, I don't think. So we sold him on. The offer of 60 million was just way too much. And again, we were never going to match those wages. £550,000. Never in a million years was I going to be paying that. Obviously, Dutch international with his one app. It's amazing. But I'm happy with that money. 60 million, brilliant. Guido Rodriguez, £58 million of pure profit sold to Al Ittihad. We got him in on a free from Real Betis. Obviously, that's a real life transfer, and sold him on for 58 million. He was playing for us, so I'm a bit upset with that. Obviously, losing a first team player, but 58 million, too much to turn down, and this was kind of the reason why we've decided to change system a little bit. He's 32 years old, he's getting on. Next season, if we would have waited another season to sell him, we would never have gotten anywhere near that. I reckon we would have gotten about 20. So 32-year-old for 58 million, brilliant profit, and now he's on 1.2 million pounds per week. Absolutely insane. But another sale to Al Ittihad in Alexander Barr for £40 million. He's played one season at our club, only making 5 starts and 40 appearances off the bench. And he gets sold for 40 million, which is, what's that, 28 million pounds profit? I love Saudi Arabia in this game. I'm sorry, but the love that I have for Saudi Arabia in this game is is different. 40 million pounds for Alexander Barr. I'm happily taking it. Honestly, he wasn't starting for us, so goodbye, Alexander Barr. You've been a good servant at the club, but that money I could never reject it. So now to go into the tactics that we're running for this season, we've definitely changed up quite a lot. We've gone for a 2-striker system with wing backs now. We're running the Ferdi Kadioglu and Melvin Bard as the wing backs. I believe Kadioglu never really got the chance to shine at his full potential last season because he was playing on the left. He's a right-footed player. Obviously, he doesn't have the ability to cross as much on his left foot, which is only reasonable, and I don't think he was getting the most out of it. He's already shown this season he's on a 7.03, so he's performing a lot better. And we've gone for a different system up top with a pressing forward instead of a target forward, and that will obviously be Nicholas Füllkrug. Amazing player, I've said it so many times. He's got what, 56 Premier League goals in the last 2 seasons. That's irreplaceable right now. He's only on 10 pace. That is a big issue for us though, and I think that might be us looking for a replacement for him now. But we will also be running alongside him either Karim Konate, who's still developing well, he's 22 years old, currently wanted by Nottingham Forest, or we will be running Jared Bowen up top, his place is kind of getting a bit doubted now with us. We don't run wingers anymore, so it's doubtful. I don't know if he can run as that striker alongside Füllkrug. We'll have to wait and see. But this shadow striker position is 100% solidified for Mohamed Kudus, who will be that perfect player to fit into that role. As I've said earlier on, I favour him in that shadow striker role. I tried him on the right wing. He wasn't bad. I have to give it to him. He was a great player, but I think it's time to move him into the attacking midfield and see how that runs for us. If we sort the team without restrictions, best pick by the AI is saying that we drop Nicholas Füllkrug. That just shows this game's engine's a bit messed up. But with the 3 at the back of Diamande, Todibo, Shutalo and Atubolu in goal, with the 2 wing backs, I think our defense is solidified. I love it. I think it's going to be a very good season for us. I hope it is. So I'll be back with you when we have the results for the end of the season, and hopefully it's as expected. Okay, so we're back at the end of season 3, I believe. And as you can see, it's not great. I'm not happy with it because it's 6th place again. But if you look at the teams ahead of us, I don't really expect us to be getting ahead of any of them right now. We're still not of that level, and I hope we are in the future. We're still developing, obviously. But to get 6th place over teams like Newcastle, Aston Villa, I'm happy with. I have to accept that. Seeing that Karim Konate is our top goal scorer is a bit strange to me though, obviously, now that we have Füllkrug he's not the same. He's not the same. He's definitely getting older. He's not feeling the same, obviously. But highest assists instead of James Ward-Prowse now was Ferdi Kadioglu. It looks like the perfect decision to move him onto that right wing back over Aaron Wan-Bissaka or Alexander Barr. He seems to be doing a lot better than either of them were, on a 7.24 average rating over the season. But Kareem Konate has probably been the standout striker. Been a great player. Unhappy currently because he wants a new deal. Don't know if he's going to be getting that. But let me show you the competitions. And hopefully we've done alright in the other competitions. Don't forget we're in the Europa League, FA Cup and Carabao Cup. So hopefully we can get at least one of those. And we've won a European trophy. We have won the Europa League. We beat Newcastle 4-2 in the final, and we brought it home. West Ham are European champions once again. And that's not it. We've made it a double this season with the Community Shield. We also managed to beat Liverpool on penalties early on in the season to make it a double on trophies and Champions League football for the next season. That is brilliant. I'm very happy with that. And you can see Nicholas Füllkrug is actually our top goal scorer in the Premier League as well. He never does drop off, does he? But he's 34 years of age now. Wow, he's still performing. A double on trophies this season means that is our third trophy altogether of this rebuild. And we're going to keep pushing. We need that Carabao Cup and we need that Premier League, and we've done it all. But let me show you the Europa League and how we managed to make it through. In the league phase, we managed to get top, undefeated, 27 goal difference. We won some of our games massively, including 8-1 wins to Bochum, 4-2 wins at Salzburg, 4-0 wins with Lyon, 5-2 wins away at Gladbach, 3-0 wins away at Twente, and a 4-0 win against Karabag at home. Massive league phase. We went over to the round of 16s. We beat FC Rapid in the Romanian League 8-0 in total on aggregate. We then went to the quarterfinals. We played Celtic. We destroyed them 6-3. Semi-finals. We played against Gladbach 5-3 on aggregate. Absolutely smashed them. To then go on to play Newcastle in the final and win 4-2. A very massive match for us. I'm very happy with it. I love it, honestly. But let's go on to the Premier League. We know we've already finished 6th. Points wise, we're still very close. Like, we were 7 points off second place. We're very close on points. There are just a couple matches that we could have done a bit better to avoid losing. Like, we had 12 losses, which is the most out of any team in the top 7. If we managed to pick up on points a little bit more, then I reckon we definitely could have been up there in that top 4 and even challenging for a league once we stop dropping these stupid points. Like, matches away to Leeds, away to Nottingham Forest, it's clear that our away form is a big issue, and hopefully by next season we're able to sort that out and improve that. Alright, so on to the FA Cup. We made it to the quarterfinals and we got knocked out by the cup winners in Chelsea. Started off in the 3rd round, we beat Leeds United 6-0, which is actually a very big win. They're in the Premier League. 4th round, we went at home to Stevenage, 5-2 win, easy, ran straight through them. Then it was Plymouth versus West Ham in the 5th round, a 1-0 win for us. We managed to take it home, and then in the quarterfinals, a 3-0 loss to Chelsea, who then went on to beat Arsenal 2-1, and then Bournemouth 4-0 in the final. So unfortunately, we could not go on to win the FA Cup 2 years in a row. But I'm happy that we won it last season anyway. That's not a trophy that's on my mind anyways. Onto the Carabao Cup though, a trophy that is on my mind and one that I definitely would like to win. We got knocked out in the 3rd round by Arsenal. 2-1 loss. Not happy with it whatsoever. But they did end up making it to the final and losing to Man City. So, you know, you can't be too upset. Position-wise, I don't know if we're going to stick with this same system. Going for best 11 is still saying that I should be dropping Füllkrug, and I think by now I will be dropping Füllkrug. He's 34 years old. From what I know, he very well might retire very soon. He might retire very soon. So we need to look for a replacement. If he doesn't retire, he could be a very good option off the bench to sub on and perhaps change a game with his good finishing. But even if he does retire, it's about time to get rid of him. Maybe sign another striker and start to rebuild life without Füllkrug. Otherwise, the team looks pretty much the same as when we started out. Positions that I feel like we could improve on, I think maybe the 5 at the back isn't working. Maybe we do change back to a 4 at the back. I don't know. It's difficult. It's very difficult to decide. But I think for the next transfer window, we will be bringing in some players. As you can see, we do have a pretty big transfer budget of £68 million. So we will probably be bringing in a player or two. Maybe a striker would be the highest priority for us right now. But we'll have to wait and see. I'll be back with you once we finish the transfer window of Season 4. Well, we're back in the Season 4 transfer window. It's been completed. We've made some massive signings and it's already looking amazing for us in 3rd place. 1 loss, 3 wins. It's looking very good. That loss, of course, away to Manchester United. Our away form always has, it's not been the best. But I'll go straight to the transfers. Let's not waste any time. Massive. Massive. We signed Benjamin Šeško for £90 million. Last season, I believe he was the Champions League top goal scorer. Amazing striker. He is the perfect replacement for Nicholas Füllkrug, who has now retired as expected. He chose to retire on top. He retired a European champion. We give it to Füllkrug. He's been an amazing servant and definitely, under my books, a club legend. But it's time to replace him with someone that's even better. Benjamin Šeško, 6'4", the heading abilities there. He's got great finishing, great dribbling, great first touch, and he's so rapid. He's got 18 pace. He's genuinely the regen of Füllkrug, but with pace, with agility, and this is the perfect striker to build around. He's already on a 7.73 average rating, 6 matches, 5 goals and 2 assists. Perfect player. I'm so happy with this signing. £90 million, but fully worth it. Now, we've also signed another player, a player his career never really worked out the way it should have. He got signed to Chelsea for £40 million in the 23-24 season, and he never played. He got 8 starts and 17 appearances off the bench in that first season, which went to 8 total appearances, which then went to 15 total appearances, but 13 of those off the bench. So we thought, sure, we'll take you in. He was on the verge of leaving to Saudi Arabia as well, to a club they wouldn't treat him as well as I would. He already knows that. So we brought him in, 11.25 million. I think it's a bargain for Cole Palmer. He's got great dribbling, finishing and first touch, which is very key for a player in the attacking positions. Passing's there. He's very physical. He's got good pace. I feel like he's a great player to have as depth. Great backup for Kudus, and either on the wings or up top, because I don't really think we had a direct backup for Kudus. He's a proper player to bring in, and I think we could possibly revive his career, or maybe he could just be a short-term signing, help us get to where we need to, and then sell him on. Obviously, it's beneficial for both of us. We get a great player, and he gets game time, which he really needs. We've also signed, give me a second to pronounce his name, Guillaume Restes for £70 million. That was a massive signing for us as well. Our transfer fees have gone out. They've gone out the window. Like, the owners just said, all right, yeah, take the money, spend it however much you want. He is I can barely describe how good of a goalkeeper he is. He's amazing in the game. Already got 3 clean sheets in 5 matches and a 7.28 rating. He's a brilliant sweeper keeper. He's got the passing, he's got the shot stopping ability, he's got everything he needs, and he's only 22 years old. Definitely the best goalkeeper wonder kid in the game, and I will say that confidently. We've made this signing because we have actually sold Noah Atubolu for £55 million to Al Hilal. We didn't want to sell him. I thought he definitely had a lot of room left at this club, but he did want to leave, and let's be honest, he never performed amazingly last season. He did well. We called upon him in a time of need, and he performed. But £55 million, I'm happy with it. I don't think he will ever perform as well as I wanted him to, but Restes definitely can. Now, for the final signing, and perhaps even the biggest, we got Victor Gyökeres on a free transfer. He just left Saudi Arabia, and he was without club for about 2 months or a month, something like that, because he wasn't willing to sign a contract on a cheaper wage. he wanted £1 million a week. Then 5 days later, he'd say, okay, fine, I'll settle for £700,000 a week. Then he comes again, I'll settle for £500,000 a week. We've managed to get him down to £250,000 per week. 29-year-old striker, he's absolutely brilliant. If we thought that Sesko was that replacement for Gyökeres, not for Füllkrug, that was wrong. Gyökeres is the perfect replacement for Füllkrug because he's got everything that Füllkrug had and more. He's got the finishing even better than Füllkrug. He's got the physicals way better than Füllkrug, and he's just he's the perfect striker. We will be running him and Šeško up top, and it will be amazing. It will be brilliant. It will be everything, all of the above. But on to transfers out. We started off a free transfer there. No, don't need to go into too much on it. Jean-Claude Todibo for £60 million to Al Ittihad. We decided to move back to a 4 at the back system, and we decided to use our 2 new signing centre backs in Diomande and Shatalo to be our 2 centre backs. We decided to sell Todibo because he was still expecting first team football, and I don't think we were able to give that to him with those 2 other centre-backs. So we sold him on £60 million. It's double the amount of money we paid for him. Happily take it. I think it was a worth it signing because of the profit, and he also did serve us well for the time that he was at the club. We also sold this one. This one, it hurts the chest of a lot of West Ham fans. We sold Jared Bowen to Liverpool for £60 million. This was because I saw a big drop off in his performances since last season. I mean, he wasn't great in the league at all. He's 30 years old. We were never going to get that amount of money for him. And the system that we play, it would either mean him playing as a striker or not playing at all. And I don't think he was a striker. Even if he is a striker, then he would have to be getting played over either Gyökeres or Šeško, which I can promise he was not getting over either of them. So we decided to sell him at just on the end of the prime of his career, or roughly in the middle of the prime of his career, to Liverpool, one of our league rivals. It may come back to haunt us, it may not. This is the system that we're deciding to play. It's pretty similar. It's actually very similar. We've just moved the wing backs down into full backs and made a 4 at the back system. And instead of going for 2 in the midfield, we've gone for 3 with a defensive midfielder, box to box, and a Mezzala. We will be putting our trust back in Lucas Paqueta this season, which is I don't trust it. I honestly don't trust him as much as I should. But we're going to have to give him the benefit of the doubt, hope that he can perform and move forward well. Just perform in the team. That's all we need from him. So far in the league, we're doing very well, like I've said. We've got the highest goal difference. We're scoring goals for fun. A 4-0 win at home to Liverpool, 5-0 at home to Middlesbrough, and 3-0 away Brentford. Very, very big. And I'm happy with it. So I'll be back when I'm done with this season. And hopefully we get the results that we were looking for, because this team definitely can. We're back at the end of season 4, and very clearly, wow. Second place shows a massive improvement from last season. Wow, we were very close. 14 points obviously is far from first place, but the fact that we actually managed to end in second place with West Ham is a massive achievement in itself. I'm not sure if we've managed to do anything else, but first we'll look over this. 27 goals from Benjamin Šeško with a 7.38 average rating. Also 12 assists from him, making it 39 GA in 36 starts. Wow, honestly, next level. But this is what surprised me even more. 20 assists from James Ward-Prowse. At the age of 33, like I said, we are carrying him to the end of this save because of that stamina and natural fitness. The stamina's gone down to 18 now. That's expected. Honestly, he'll be 37 and have 15. He will be able to run until he dies. Honestly, he is what a player. What a player. 20 assists at the age of 33 in the Premier League is nothing minor, and I think that deserves praise. But let's look at the other competitions. Hopefully we've won something. That's not good. Oh no, Man City have gotten their get back. That's 4 competitions that they've beaten us in. Premier League, they made Premier League, they got first, we got second. Champions League, they knocked us out in the round of 16s. English FA Cup, they beat us in the 3rd round. And the Carabao Cup, they beat us in the semi-finals. Man City are genuinely the most annoying team. In the Super Cup, we ended up losing 2-1 to Real Madrid. Unfortunate, you know, but it's clear, you know, they are the Champions League winners, so you'd expect to lose. I don't remember the last time the Europa League winner actually won something like that. So let's move on. Champions League, I mean, it wasn't, the round of 16s isn't good enough for us. We managed to qualify 7th, only 2 losses and 1 draw, all away matches, Barcelona, Lille and Napoli. So not bad from us at all, to be honest. 7th place in the league phase is massive, but then to go on to the round of 16 straight away and lose, it's not really good enough. Man City ended up getting knocked out the round after to the current semi-finalists. Sorry, I thought Inter Milan were in the final. Oh no, they are, sorry. Inter Milan versus Barcelona in the final now. It hasn't been played yet. FA Cup, again, 1st round, already eliminated. And they never even went on to make it to the final. Man City got knocked out in the quarterfinals. So we've just been embarrassed. But here, Man City made it to the finals of the Carabao Cup and lost to Tottenham. So they are bottling, but they're making sure they beat us. Tell me that's not rigged. Never mind though. Premier League, I'm happy. I'm very happy with it. I can't even complain in the slightest. Champions League football in 2nd place. That's 2 seasons now of Champions League football in a row. I think we're ready to go at it next season and challenge properly, potentially even win the entire league. I feel that confident. I feel like we can win the league with our team. Looking back at the team, oh, it's just amazing. It's a great team. I feel like every player apart from Paqueta right now, I'm very happy with. I would replace Paqueta for sure. If I was given the option, I would replace Paqueta. And I will probably look to with the transfer window approaching. We have 60 million in the bank, so we could potentially get a good midfielder in. But we'll have to wait and see. I'm looking forward to the final season of this rebuild. I'll be back with you when the transfer window is over, and hopefully we've managed to bring in some amazing signings. So we're here at the end of the transfer window. It's been a bit of a boring transfer window from us. We haven't made too many movements, but the signings that we did make were immaculate, sublime, perfect. Let me show you them straight away. Go straight into the signings, and as you can see, for a new midfielder, we've gone all out. We've broken our club record, we've broken the national record, and possibly even an international record. I'm not too sure. But £130 million on Kobbie Mainoo from Manchester United. What a signing this is. Honestly, I never thought I'd spend this much money on a player in Football Manager 24. But if there was going to be one player that it would be the best midfielder in the world, Kobbie Mainoo. I am so happy with this signing. I think he is the one person that links the entire midfield together, no matter what team he's in. And he's proved that in real life. He will prove that for us today in the game. And I'm 100% sure that if there was anyone we are going to win the league with, it will be Kobbie Mainoo. So, let me go on to show you the rest. We've only made one sale this transfer window, which was Cole Palmer to Al Ettifaq. We sold him for pretty similar money to what we bought him for. We bought him for 11.25 and sold him for 11.75. That was because last season he never got much game time for us. He came in to be the depth and to play in multiple roles, which he did. He came off the bench 17 times. But I feel like right now I don't feel like there was much more for him to improve. I feel like his career is really and truly is cooked. I'm sorry. There are some players that you just can't revive. So we ended up selling him to Al Ettifaq in Saudi Arabia, to Steven Gerrard. And let's hope that they can do something with his career. Obviously he's a great player in real life, and I'm sure that there's so much more he can do. So let's go on to look at how we've done so far this season. 8th in the league. Okay, I know you're saying behind your screens, but I got 3 words for you. Trust the process. Okay, trust the man like Lex process, because we may have lost 4-1 at Old Trafford and we may have drawn 0-0 at Anfield, but it's okay. We are going to come out even better than last season, and I'm sure we can challenge. We're getting at least second this season, I'm telling you that now. Alright, so we're going to simulate to the end of the season. This is the final season of the rebuild, and hopefully we can bring back 2 trophies. The 2 trophies we have not won yet. The Carabao Cup and the English Premier League. Or there's another trophy we haven't won here in the UEFA Champions League. So, if we can bring home one of those, I will be chuffed. Listen, so we have loaded to the end of Season 5 of the West Ham rebuild. And as you can already see on your screens, we have won the English Premier League. That is an accomplishment I didn't think we were going to be able to do today. We managed to overcome Arsenal, overcome Man City, overcome Chelsea, Liverpool, Man United, Aston Villa and all of the rest to win the English Premier League. Only 5 losses this season, 6 draws and 27 wins. Very good goal difference, only 2 points above Arsenal. But you go to past positions, you see, after game week around 13, we were roughly at the top for the entire, roughly the entire period. We had 1 or 2 off weeks. Amazing. Honestly, I am I never thought this would happen. But that just shows we needed one player to link it all together. And you know who that was. I think I'm gassing up Kobe Mainoo a bit too much. But on the last day of the season, we did draw to Brentford. So I believe we got very lucky that Arsenal never won away to Liverpool, because it could have been a completely different outcome. It would have been a completely different outcome. But let's look at the rest of the competitions. Perhaps we won more. Maybe we even won the Champions League. Let's see. Unfortunately, we haven't won any more than that. It would have been very nice to win a Champions League this save, but we're still European champions with the Europa League. I've done what the board have wanted me to do. I've won the FA Cup and I've won the Premier League. That's 3 massive trophies right there alone. I'm very happy with this rebuild. I think it's been a major success. We'll go back in the Champions League. You'll see in the league phase, we've finished 8 in the qualifications. We're just too good. We haven't gone through playoffs in so long. It proves something. It proves something to the world. Benjamin Šeško as the 3rd highest goal scorer. We went out in the round of 16s. We go to the round of 16s facing off against Atletico Madrid. I'm sorry, but I would expect us to win that. Don't get on to me if that's a bad call, but I would expect us to beat Atletico Madrid if we are the English champions. But as you can see as well, the rest of the English teams were all gone by the quarter-final phase. There's no one else in the quarter-finals from the Premier League. So Atletico Madrid ended up going out to AS Monaco. AS Monaco ended up going out to Barcelona. And now the final is left, Barcelona versus Juventus. Both teams that have not won it in multiple years. So that will be entertaining. In the FA Cup, we went out in the 4th round by Brentford. We made it past Hull City in the 3rd round. Unfortunately, couldn't make it any further than that when we went out in the 4th round to Brentford. Carabao Cup semi-finals once again. Honestly, I'm very unhappy with it. How are we losing 4-1? I don't care if it was away or at home. How do you lose 4-1? It's not good enough, is it? Yeah, no, hold on, wait, let me try to find this. West Ham, Carabao Cup 2nd leg at Stamford Bridge, a 4-1 loss. That's horrible. That's very bad from us. But it ended up being a Chelsea vs Man City final, and Man City did end up finally winning a trophy. So altogether, I classify this rebuild a major success. We've won so many things, such as trophies like the Premier League, Europa League, FA Cup, more like the Community Shield. And not only the trophies are a success, but also the things that we've accomplished within the save are so much more. We've accomplished amazing tactics which have taken us all the way to these cups and trophies, like this tactic here which took us all the way to the Premier League Championship. So if you'd like to see this tactic shown in more videos or even dropped, please leave a comment down below. Also, if you like this style of videos, if you do like rebuilds, please leave a comment down below and leave your opinion on this video. Press that like button, press the subscribe button, and press that notification bell to know when I'm next posting. And thank you for watching. I'll see you on the next one.